Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Lord Keith. I know it's been a little while since I made a video. I've been busy, I'll tell you about that shortly. This is a new train I learnt to drive. I'll show you in a moment when I get sat down. This is the lower level, and this is the upper level. Does it look nice, cosy train that? Yes, I know that same person is downstairs as well. Anyway, this is the end, this is the cab. And I'll show you the train in a second. Right, let's get going before we do anything else. Okay, brakes off. And we're off. This is the Leeds to Manchester run. This train, or this engine, this locomotive, is the EMD F125 Metrolink. I know it's low on the stations. It's a very high train. It's a very, very high train. I'll show you in a minute. Yes, I know, because I'm not going to stop. So no worries on anything like that. This is the reverse of the train, and that's the main drive engine. Now, I've just brought this train into Leeds from Manchester. Now I'm driving it back again. So anyway, this is a really fast engine. If you haven't got the Antelope line on TSW4, then you won't have this train. But there's a few other things on there too. On there is a scenario called The Movies, and it's basically an action film. You're running the train as part of an action film. And to put it, you just have to do what the director says in the film to pass. It's a very easy session, a very easy scenario. The thing is, it actually teaches you how to drive this train, because it takes 4 or 5 lessons. So this train can easily be learned to use in 4 or 5 lessons. This is one of the new favourites I've got. I've got 4 now. I'm doing quite well when it comes to trains. I've not been doing very many because I've been busy. It's what with doctor's appointments, nurse appointments, and diabetic eye screening, and everything else, and all the other health problems I've got. And then we've been trying to sort out the house with all my late brother's belongings, all his toys. And when I say toys, my brother, let me explain, he was 56 years old, but he was Down syndrome, and he only had the mind of an 8-year-old. So his whole life was toys. Now, he was a huge Pokemon fan, and he was also a brilliant gamer. You could give him a computer game, and he would finish it on his own. Now, I've seen his stats for Tekken. It's Tekken 2 or Tekken 4, it was one or the other. But he had, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. He had millions of points. Millions and millions of points. And he had more money than I've ever seen in my life. In game money. But yeah, he was an excellent gamer. One of his other favourites was Angry Birds. Now, he liked the Angry Birds classics, and I literally witnessed him complete that game over and over again, because he loved it. He absolutely loved Angry Birds. And when it comes to Pokemon, he had more Pokemon cards than I've ever had at dinners, and I've been around a long time. I mean, I'm 64 years old, so I've been around a long while. He had more poker cards than I've ever seen. And we got the hat to throw him out, literally. You know, he's got a book of shiny poker cards, and it's full. It's absolutely full. And he's got no end of cards, no end of them. And he looks at them every single day. Now, some of you might say, well, you know, that's the sort of thing that Down syndrome people do. And it is, you're right, it is, you know. But at the same time, he's got all these cards. I can't just throw them in the bin. You know, that's a lot of memories. That's a lot of memories. And it's been hard work boxing all his clothes up. You know, finding all his toys and all the stuff that he had and everything. And we've thrown, we must have thrown about 30 boxes of stuff out. And a lot of it, you know, it's heartbreaking. But you know, we, at the end of the day, we have to let go. You know, he's got to go and rest. There's no point keeping all his memories. You know, I know it's memories, yes. But you can't be keeping it all. As much as I'd love to keep it all, it just clutters the house, you know, and we need to get that break. So we've been clearing it out. You know, there's a lot of stuff we haven't thrown out. We've thrown out a lot of his favourites. We've not thrown out any of his favourite toys. We've not thrown out any of his poker cards. You know, or anything like that. There's a lot of his stuff we have kept. We have, you know, we are going to keep poker cards. I can't give that away. I'll never give that away. It's the same as all his clothes, you know. We've got like 4 boxes of clothes. He had everything, literally. He wanted it, he got it. Mind you, I never did good to do anything, ever. If he asked me for something, I bought it, no matter what, you know. That's what you do, isn't it? That's just life. Well, at the end of the day, he might have gone, but he's not forgotten. And he never will be. I've built a memorial arch in the garden for him. Now, I'll tell you something else about my brother. He loved lights. Oh my word, did he love lights. We had the garden lit up like macro illuminations. I'm telling you. Still have. I still have. We put a ramp up for him when he was in wheelchair, when he was wheelchair bound. We put a ramp up and they refused to take it away. Now, I don't mind that. Excuse me. Being disabled myself, you know, I'm getting older. Being disabled myself, I use the ramp. It's a lot easier than climbing up steps because I get out of breath quite easily now. But yeah, we've sort of covered it, and you know, we've put sides on it. There already was bars there, but we've decorated it even more. We put lights on it. I put sides on it, so it's got a roof over, it's got a roof on it. You know, and it's all lit up inside at night. And he'd have loved it. It really was. But it's just, you know, it's one of those things that it takes time. This is why I've not been online. Because I've been doing everything else. Another thing I've been doing is I've been learning to play Fable 3 again. Now, I know for sure there is one of my friends, and he subscribed to my channel just recently. Nice guy he is a nice guy. If you're listening, you know, you're a great guy, TJ, really are. And he said, you know, I like Fable 3. I said, well, I'm thinking about replaying it. Anyway, I downloaded it again. I have played it before. I've downloaded it again. And I've started playing it. to do it. I'm not going to start putting anything up for about another, what are we on? What's the date? 20th of May. It will be mid-July before I start uploading anything, because I've got a lot to do. You know, I've got things to do. I will be putting up the on-train video. There won't be such a big gap as the one I've had just now. You know, the big gap I've just had now has been like 2 weeks. And I don't like letting people down, so, you know, I'm still going to put up the on-train video. I just won't be doing anything with Fable 3. Fable 2, I don't think we finished Fable 2, did we? I don't know, see, I've been that busy, I can't remember. I'll have to check it out. Anyway, if I haven't, then I'll put more up, you know, that'll go on too. Like I said, there's been a few things, I've been quite busy. Even though my health isn't great, you know, you push yourself, don't you? You know, sometimes it makes you worse, it makes you feel worse, sometimes it makes you feel better. But, you know, these things need doing. It's been gone now, nearly, what? It's been gone 18 months now, and we thought it was just time to, you know, just the right time to start clearing out. But I'm not even finished. You know, there's still like boxes and boxes of stuff to do, because we have tons and tons of stuff like that. Quite literally. Like I said, if you wanted it, you got it. It didn't matter what it cost me. You know, you want to go to France. Sadly, you never got to go to France. He asked me about, but he used to call the Blackpool Tower the Blackpool Pencil, and he called the Eiffel Tower the French Pencil, because he couldn't say the word Eiffel. So anyway, the France Pencil he called it. So, cut long story short, we booked to go to France. I got him his passport, you know. We got his passport after a lot of messing about at the passport office, because they didn't want to give it in, because they started him crying when they mentioned my mother. And one thing that, you know, because my mother passed away a long time ago, and it loved my mother very dearly. And anyway, they made him cry. So she cancelled the interview midway. And then we got his passport through the post anyway. But, you know, so anyway, I booked to go to France. And as we were due to go to France, we got locked down, didn't we, into COVID. I'm sorry to mention that word, the pandemic, as the so-called woke people like it. And I'm not woke, by the way, I think it's a load of bullcrap. I really do. You know, people believe that's up to them, but I just makes them sound stupid. Anyway, I'm not going off on that now, because that'll get me in trouble. But anyway, like I said, you know, we booked to go to France, and for him to start his bucket list, because that was on his bucket list. And yeah, so anyway, we got locked down in the pandemic. During the pandemic, my poor brother, he got dementia. Dementia set into his life. And once he got so bad, nobody had accepted it. They wouldn't take him. You know, they wouldn't risk it. They didn't want to risk it. So anyway, they cancelled. They didn't give us the money back, you know, for the holiday. But they said, you know, once, if he gets better, which is a no-no anyway, you know, if you get that. But anyway, when I told him that he'd finally passed away, you know, with the dementia, they gave us his money back. And they honoured the holiday that we should have gone. So me and my nephew, we went on this holiday in his memory. And I'll be quite honest with you, I love Paris. What a fantastic city that is. It really is a nice city. And it doesn't matter where you go in Paris, there's a lot. There is a lot of crime. You know, there's a lot of pickpockets and stuff, so you've really got to be careful. We saw a couple of guys get collared by plainclothes coppers. One of these thieves decided to pick the pocket of an undercover copper. Well, I've never seen a guy move so fast. He had a handcuff on him quicker than you could eat your hot dinner, or quicker than you could eat a cold chip. You know, I've never seen a copper move so fast. But he had him, and he had him handcuffed and handcuffed to a bench in like 35 seconds. And I've never seen that ever. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he managed to catch him or notice him putting his, you know, tip in his pocket, but he did. And you know, kudos to this copper. He was well on the ball. And the guy sat there tied to this bench with the handcuff, and he's going, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Too bloody late now, mate. You know, you did it, you did. Simple as." I stood there laughing my head off. I did. I thought it was great. Because when he looked over to me, I put my hands together as if I was clapping, you know. I got a smile, so to speak. Yeah, but, you know, just, if you ever got to Paris, be careful. But it's a gorgeous city. It really is gorgeous. So, anyway, my brother paid for that. And, took photographs of him, you know, with me, because he wanted to go, so we took him in spirit. You know, I can't do much more than that, can I really? You know, and at the end of the day, it was his holiday. And we went by coach and ferry. I'll tell you something, it was 20 hours one way. I'm sorry about the light coming through under the blind. It's still daylight here, it's summer and it's like 8:30 and it's still bright daylight. The sun's beaming down outside. But yeah, you know, and I'd go again tomorrow. I really would, but I'm not. I would go again tomorrow. And it's not always a case of have you got the money. It's not a case of that. It's have I got the time? Do I have enough space in between doctor's appointments and blood tests and, you know, going for diabetic checks and things like that? It's have I got that time? And the answer is always, sometimes it's always no. You know, I don't, because they call me in every other week for a blood test. There's not a lot I can do about it, you know, they're trying to keep me healthy, you know. I don't want to die, same as anybody else doesn't want to, you know. It's life, you know. I've been around a long time. I want to see a bit more. You know, it's. I'll tell you something else I didn't do either. I missed the Northern Lights the other week. I missed that. I'd had a really busy day and I went to bed. I was tired. I was absolutely shattered. And if only my neighbour would have knocked on my door or shouted to my nephew, "Look at this!" He'd have looked out the window, he'd have woke me up and it wouldn't have bothered me. I'd have loved to have seen that. So that is now, again, it's on my bucket list. It's been on my bucket list for a long time to see the Northern Lights. I want to see them with my own eyes, not just through photographs that other people have taken. Do you know what I'm saying? And I missed them. So now I've got an Aurora watch. I can keep my eyes open. What are going to happen? See that? Where is my phone? Because then I can check if there are any Aurora. And it's been all green today, which means there's nothing going to be in the UK, unfortunately. Well, I was looking at it last night. And a few red flashes the last few days, but they've all been while it's been daylight and you can't see anything really in daylight. But never mind, you know, they'll come again. You know, they'll come again. But I hope you've all been well. You know, I've not been bad myself. I'm just really wanted to make this update, and I wanted to show you this train I learned to drive. I've always been one for the 166, you know. I really love that train, the 166. Or the Pacer, I love the 142 Pacer as well. I love them trains very much. The 166 GT is a little blue engine. And it's in first colours, no first transport. It's in their colours. And it's a nice little engine. It is a nice little engine. But you can't get it. They put a new mode in. They put a new mode in the game where you can form a train. So I've made a few trains that's, well, my nephews help me. I'm useless at stuff like that. I'm useless at the internet, I really am. You know, I can do this is easy, but I'm useless when it comes to like doing emails and using the internet and, you know, all that, all confuses me, throws me right out. But anyway, like I was saying, we've got this formation thing on TSW4. And I've made the Pacer, which is 100 coaches long. We've got a 166, which is 100 coaches long. And I was looking to make one of this FGT, the 166, and it's not even on the list. But this train is. So what I might do is I might get a bit of help from my nephew and get him to build me one of these that's around maybe 80 to 100 coaches and see if we can do that, because that would be an amazing train. And the speed it goes, it's really fast. Yesterday, where was I running? I was running Los Angeles to Lancaster, which is the opposite run of going. Because normally you go from Lancaster to Los Angeles. Well, I turn it around and come back the other way. Once you get over the mountains, there's a long downhill straight. I can't exactly remember what station it goes to, but it finishes up in Lancaster. And it's a run of about, I say it's about 15 miles, 18 miles, maybe 20 miles. And you don't even need to mess about with it. Just get your foot on the floor and hammer it. It goes 130 miles an hour, this train. You know, it's not slow. It's not slow whatsoever. But have you noticed how quiet it is? You know, it's really quiet. And again, the engine's at the back of the train. So if I go to the back of the train, this is the main engine. Listen how quiet that is. I mean, it makes that machine sound all the time. Damn annoying. That's someone else annoying about it and all. It's typical American diesel. Now, I don't know if you know much about American trains, but when they blast their horn, they have this really annoying bell. Right, let's go in the cab. Right? Now, this is the setup for the cab. The horn, if I can remember where it is. There's the horn. Now, listen to this. Oh, it doesn't do it from this end. If you do it from the other end, it rings a bell. But it doesn't do it from here. So that's what you get. I've got to find it now to turn it off. Oh, shut up now. Yeah, it's quite annoying, and that bell was ding, 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 ding. Oh my goodness, it drives me daft. I don't know why they need to have a bell like that. I know I understand it's for when they're going across a level crossing, but does it really need to do it all the time? You know, because I don't think it does. Anyway, that's my gripe with it. You know, I'm not. Oh, another thing. If you're on the Antelope line, just remember this. One of the scenarios is picking up a hitchhiker, an injured hitchhiker. That level doesn't work. You can't finish that sequence, that section. The simple reason is you can find the injured hitchhiker, but he doesn't acknowledge you. You can't talk to him, you can't pick him up, you can't move him. He's just stood there. And if you look in the distance, you see a flare, which you would think might be the injured hitchhiker in another position, but it's not. It is a microphone on the ground smoking, but you can see it from about a mile and a half away, which is very unrealistic, in my opinion. But what can you do? You know, I'm not a developer, I'm only a player. You know, it's daft really, but I can't do anything about it. Anyway, we're nearly in Manchester now, so I hope you've stayed with me this long. You know, this is only an update. I'll be back with more of these soon. Like I say, I've been really, really busy, and I do apologise. You know, nothing I can do about it. It's life, isn't it? You know, we all get busy at some point. I've not really been doing a lot, you know. The weather's only just started picking up where I live. It's been cold, it's been wet, it's been horrible, you know. There's not a lot really you can do with it. You know, you can't go out because it's cold and it's miserable. You know, now it's chucking it down with rain. You know, weather's weather, isn't it? You can't control it. I know some people say, oh yeah, you can. No, you can't. You really can't. You can't control the weather. That's down to Mother Nature. But, yeah, you know, I think it's the same wherever you go, isn't it? You know, we all have our spells, good days, bad days, and all that. That being human. Although I've seen things about that and all where people say, oh, half of us are not human. Yeah, really. You know, it might be the odd robot, but I don't know. It's been aliens. I mean, I've seen weird stuff in the sky, you know, like everybody else. But I don't think we are alone in the universe. I just don't think they come here, you know, for a visit. I don't even think they come here to stay. I think they just come and have a look and they disappear again. It's fine by me. But if they want to come and say hello, you know, they're more than welcome. It's not a problem. I'm not one of these that I'm not, you know, I'm not missed in any way. I'm not going to turn them away, you know. At the end of the day, they've got life to them as we have. I don't believe in hatred or violence or anything like that. That's about my only gripe. You know, people get violent, I don't want to know. Because that never solves anything. I think I've been through that before. Uncle told me that before. Violence and bloodshed is not the answer. But then again, what is the question? I see it, life is life, you've got one chance. If you don't like it, you know, deal with it. I'm not asking you to take your own away or anybody else's. I'm asking you to grow a pair and, you know, change your ways, change your attitude. Because we all have to live and we only get one life to live. So, I think we're getting a bit out of here now. We're doing 109 on this area. It's a bit dodgy going up here. We're lucky it's down the track there. No, it's pretty good. It's a pretty stable engine, this. It is, it's a pretty stable engine. It holds the track well. It does, it holds the track really well. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Manchester. There's a place right by the tracks where, how can I put it? How many of you watch Constipation Street, as I call it? Or Coronation Street? My mum used to be, oh, don't get me started. She was a stickler for Coronation Street and I hated it. I always did and I still do. I've always called it Constipation Street because truthfully, my opinion is crap. You know, have a go at me if you like, I don't really care. But that won't change my way, you know, it won't make me think any different. But at the same time, you know, I mean, what's the point, really? Anyway, in Manchester, the actual set that they used to use is right by the side of the line on the Manchester Victoria to Salford Crescent line. Now, I don't know if you know that, but there's a section in Manchester, down at the side of the tracks where you could actually see the set for Coronation Street from the railway line as you were going past on the train. Especially if you go to the Manchester Museum, the Museum of Science and Industry. If you go to Manchester Science Museum, you can still see the set, the area where the set was. I don't think it now exists anymore. I think they demolished it. I know there was a video on YouTube of some lads that went into the old set and they got caught by security and kicked out. But they were looking around the whole set and it looked completely derelict. I mean, it really looked bad. It did look bad. So, I don't know. I did hear that they have destroyed it and took it all down, knocked it all down. It's a shame, really, because it was, you know, there were actual houses that were built, you know, that were really built. They weren't just the, what do they call them, facade, folly, something like that. And, you know, there were actual houses. And you could have easily lived in them. All they had to do was change them over, you know, sort them out. They'd have had a row of terraced houses right in the middle of Manchester. But no, you know, these things, you don't think of things like that. You know, resourcefulness and stuff like that. They'd rather just throw it away. I don't even know what they've done with the land if they did knock them down. That was only something I heard. Well, anyway, I've been past the studios quite a few times when I was young, because I used to live in Manchester. I was born in Manchester. And I've met some very famous faces coming out of there. I met Violet Carson a couple of times, and Julie Goodyear. She was a lovely lady, Julie Goodyear. Yeah, first time I met her, she gave me a pair of gloves. I've never forgotten that, because I was on my bike. I'd been to see a friend of mine who was ill at the time, and on the way back home I happened to be riding past the studios, you know, past Coronation Street set, and she was coming out of the set. She was on her way home. She was getting into a car, into a taxi, and she said, she just gave me one good look. She said, because my coat wasn't very much, it was only a slight jacket, and she said to me, "Are you alright, love?" And she said, "I'm fine, why?" She goes, "You look bloody freezing." And she gave me a pair of fur-lined gloves. I've never forgotten that. Never forgotten that. She was a lovely, lovely lady. She was. And anyway, she gave me these gloves. She gave me a big hug. And she said, "I'll see you again, love." And she went, she left. Got in this taxi and went. But yeah, she was a really nice lady. You know, I mean, I've known a few people that, you know, worked on TV. I've met quite a few people in the past that's worked on TV. I have a very good friend actually, somebody I went to school with, and we're still friends. I still talk to him, you know, I talk to him on the phone, he phones me, I phone him. And I've known him since I was 4, and he was 5 years old, and you know, I mean, he's 65 now, and I'm 65 this August, he'll be 66 a few days later, you know, after me. But yeah, we're still buddies. He's been on TV. He's been on Coronation Street, funny enough. Oh. But he's done a lot of work in America. He moved to America. He had his own gym at one point. Really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. You know, he's like a brother to me. He's like the older brother that my older brother wasn't. My older brother, he hated me. He hated my younger sister, and he hated my younger brother as well. But they were twins, you see. They didn't like the younger ones stepping into the fray. But I mean, even he's dead and gone. But I don't miss him. I don't miss him. Because he told me after my younger sister passed away never to call him again. Never ever talk to him again. And I haven't done anything to him. He just didn't like me. He didn't like me from being a kid. I mean, they used to throw me down the stairs tied to a chair. That says a lot, doesn't it? You know, it's unfortunate. But there you go. You know, I'm not giving you my woes. Like I said before, it's life. It's all history and it's all in the past. You know, he might be dead and gone. I've forgiven him for it. Doesn't mean I have to like him. It doesn't mean, you know, I have to deal with anything about him. But there you go. But yeah, you know, going back to my old friends, we still keep in touch. He came to see me earlier this year as well. He brought his dog to meet me. I've always wanted to meet Spooky Doo. I always wanted to. He was a greyhound, a lovely dog, beautiful dog, beautiful greyhound. He passed away about 2 weeks later. He had cancer, poor thing. He's a gorgeous dog, gorgeous greyhound. I had an uncle that had greyhounds, funny enough. He used to race them at Bellevue, my uncle. He's a good man. He worked on the railways, which is where I get my love of trains from. I think I've told you about him before, haven't I? His friend, he was the one that helped me that let me drive the Class 45. You know, the bully train. Yeah, I've had some interesting friends. You know, I've had some friends. I knew a few people that worked on TV. I'll tell you who else I used to know, and a guy who managed Eartha Kitt, if you remember Eartha Kitt. Yeah, he lived in Manchester for a while. He used to clean his car when I was young, funny enough. He was a nice guy too. He was alright. He introduced me to John Mundy. I don't know if you know who he is. He used to work on BBC. He was alright, and old John Mundy, now he was a nice fella. That's what I say, in my lifetime I've met quite a few stars. Met quite a few TV people. I once met Mr. Manchester himself, Tony Wilson. I played bowling with him at Granada Bowl, funny enough. I've also met Bob Geldof, Paulie Yates, and you know the Boomtown Rats. I met all those as well. I've met quite a few people. I have met quite a few people. But I wasn't one that sort of hung around in starstruck places, you know. I used to just bump into them at places where I went. You know, my heroes rode a speedway bike because I'm not that kind of guy, you know. It's, I've always been a huge speedway fan. I'm a big Bellevue fan, always have been. And you know, I met quite a few people at Bellevue. That's where I met Boomtown Rats at Bellevue. I was there one afternoon and the group come into King's Hall Arcade. I was playing the pushes in there. I used to play the push machines in there, you know, the cakewalks as they called them in them days. And I was playing that, and they were all starting playing air hockey. Anyway, there was only about me and 4 other people in the arcade at the time. And Bob come over to me and he asked me if I wanted a game. So I said, yeah, right, go on then. He said, just to make up the numbers, because there was 5 of them. And yeah, I went and had a game with them. They're nice people. They were, you know, Bob was a really nice guy in them days. He's probably still a nice guy even now. It's just, you know, times change. He's probably completely forgot who I am or, you know, about me now. But it doesn't really matter, does it? You know, I've got that memory myself. Paulie Yates was very nice. She was a lovely lady. She was real, you know, she looked and dressed and acted like a real punk, but deep down she was lovely. She was. One of the things you remember, isn't it, you know, as you get older? It is, it's one of the things you remember. Yeah, funny enough, I'm going to ring my friend actually later. I might ring the bell in about 10 minutes or so when I finish this. I've not spoken to him for a couple of weeks. A couple of months actually, because I've been busy. Mind you, he's probably been busy and all. He travels about a lot. He travels up and down. He's living back in Manchester now himself. But he comes to see me when he can, you know. I don't have any transport, so I can't really get around. I have to rely on buses and trains and taxis and things, but you know, I don't mind that so much. As I get older, you know, it gets harder, but what can you do? You see that big building there? Look over there, see that big building where the spire is just over the top? Let's climb up a bit. You see that big building where the cursor is? That's called the CIS building, and it's almost in Manchester Town Square where the town hall is. You can't see anything. You can't see Piccadilly or anything from here. You can't see Piccadilly. You know, you have to see Piccadilly from the other side. When you're doing the Glossop line, Glossop to Manchester line, you see Piccadilly quite clear then. But until then, you can't really see much of it. But that CIS building there, it's right on the, it's right on the edge of Oldham. Is it Oldham Road, Rochdale Road, one of the two? Yeah, it's a big building now, a really big building. It's something to do with the co-op. I'm not exactly sure what it is because I've never been inside. But it's a huge building. It must be, I bet it's 200 feet tall. if not more. Yeah, it is. It's I'm coming into Manchester now. This is Victoria coming up. That building there is as if you're heading out to Cheetham Hill. I don't know if you know Manchester at all, but that's where it is. That's it. It's heading out that way. Yeah, I've got a lot of memories of Manchester. It's not all good. You know, I spent most of my youth in Manchester. I was 33 when I left, and I've never looked back. I've never gone back. I've only been back to visit my parents' grave, bury my sister and my younger brother, and that's been it. I don't go back to Manchester. Right. This is Manchester Victoria. I remember Victoria as a different station altogether to what it is now. You know, it's changed quite a lot. It's not changed in features. It's changed in size. These platforms that you see here, these ones on the outside, these were here but they weren't used for passenger service. When I remember Victoria as it was, the only one that used to be used for passengers was that one on that side. So you see platform 13, platform 12 was where they used to come in from Blackpool. They used to use the Blackpool to Victoria line. This trains still come here from Victoria. You know, it's still a widely used station. I want to just move up a bit if I can. Now I'm going to try and once I get here, I'm just going to move on a little tiny bit. Right, that's the objective complete. Now what I want to do is I just want to move, if it'll let me, to here. It might let me do it. That's all I want to do. I've just got to wait for the signal. Now, if I use the drone mode, as we go past over here, I'll show you something. Set the brakes up so we can go. Right. This is where the Granada Studios are. Now, the train's going to stop here because it runs out. Did you see that building right in front of me? See how we're on the other side now of Manchester Victoria. This is Victoria as I know it. This line here, this section here, is now trams. That section there, that's all trams. And trams come in these lines here as well, as far as I'm aware. These two here. This lot This used to be the Manchester to Leeds line, and this was the Manchester to York line. I never remember where the trains went from here, but trains from here, this was the Manchester to Blackpool and Southport line. They now run from Piccadilly to both of those, but there's still a Blackpool to Victoria line, or the Victoria to Blackpool line, and this was the Blackpool to Victoria station platform. I don't ever remember these ones being used, these lines. I don't remember them being used at all. There's the train. If we can reach the train and get on the back end of the train, I can lift the drone up, and that should allow me to show you something if I can reach it. I think it stops just here. Coming up. That's all I needed to do. Now I'll sit in the seat, because otherwise I can't use drone mode. Right, and now I'll lift the drone up. Now this here, see that building there? That is the start of where they had the Coronation Street set. It's just round that corner. Unfortunately, you can't get to it. But you can just see the rooftops. See the rooftops there? Oh, I wish I'd stop messing about. Yeah, you can just see the rooftops there. That's where the set was. But yeah, you know, it's memories, time's gone by and all that lot. I'm getting rid of this train now, so I'll just leave that there. I'll do that and it's gone. Magic. Right, anyway, I'll let you get on. I'll give you a bit of a tour. I'll give you a little bit of history. You know where I'm up to now with what I'm doing. Like I say, I will be back. You know, again, that's the River Irwell down there, by the way. Whether you can see it or not from here, you might be able to see it from the fencing down here. No, you can't see it. But I shall make it so, because through the magic of gaming, it doesn't matter whether this train is full or empty. Through the magic of gaming, there are people on this train, not that it matters, because I won't be on it for long. Yeah. Through the magic of gaming, we can use a drone. Now look, there's the River Irwell. Now you see that building over there, that one there, that used to be called Walsh's Carpets, and my older brother used to work there, and then when they moved to Stockport he got me a job, and I worked for Walsh's Carpets. I worked for him for 5 years before I did my backing, and you know, I loved that job. I really did. I loved it. It was a great job. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. And out my whole life, to be quite honest with you now, I've only ever had 6 jobs. In 60 years, well, in 50... When did I stop work? I stopped work in 2008. So I haven't worked now for, because I mean I basically had a breakdown and I couldn't work anymore. But that was before I got the illness I've got now, the terminal illness I've got now. Yeah. And I worked all those years. This is the way out of Victoria, by the way. You can't get any further than that. But all that lot there is all the doors to the main streets into Manchester. Surprising what you know, innit? Eh? Yeah, so, you know, you've got a bit of my history now and all. But I just was there, I know a lot about Manchester. It may sound like I'm rambling, but you know, it's good to tell you these things because you never know, one day you might want to actually go and visit Manchester and you might think, oh, this guy knows a bit about Manchester, I'll ask him. You know, you come and ask me. I'm not on Facebook, by the way. I'm not on any other social media other than YouTube. So if you want to ask me, you have to ask me in the comments, I'm afraid. But I'm always open, you know, I don't hide my life. You know, I've had a fairly good life, to be quite honest with you. I think the only thing I don't regret is I've never had any kids. I don't really regret that either. My older brother had enough for everybody. There were rampant rabbits, yeah. And there were 7 of them. Then again, my dad comes from a big family, there was 13 of them. Didn't have any television in them days though. No, I had problems when I was younger, never. And I don't want to go into it. It bothers me. I still have nightmares about it even now. But there we go. Anyway, right, I shall leave you here in good old Manchester, Victoria. Yeah, great place. Nice city if you like it. You know, not a lot of people do. It's up to you. If you want to go and visit, be my guest. I will say this, if you do go, be careful. Take care. I'm not saying it's a bad place, I'm just saying just be aware. Okay, that's all I am saying. Right, I shall let you go. I wish you all very well. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of nostalgia. What time is it on the clock? It's due be 11:10. Not really, in real time it is 9:08 PM. Right, on that note, I'm gone. I wish you well, I hope you take care of yourselves. I'm Lord Keith, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.